So here's a Rubik's Cube I'm going to mess up to do a couple instructions on the first layer. Alright, the first layer is pretty simple. There are algorithms, but I don't really use them whenever I do it. Or if I do, I don't think about the algorithm. I just look at the cube and see what it's doing. So the first step, we'll start with white, for example. Okay, so center cube will always be the same color. Those never change. The way the cube is designed, they're always going to be in the same exact positions. And each one only has one spot. So even though these are both orange, only that one is right for sure. This one is correct because they're both white. Those are both orange. So that cube is correct. However, this one is orange and green. Actually, that one's right too. Alright, disregard that. There's one I thought. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So for example, this one is not right. We have the red, which is correct. It looks like those are good. However, the white doesn't match the blue, so that one's wrong. And the green and the red don't match. This has to be white. So therefore, you can tell that that's not correct. So the easiest way I do it, I keep one on the top. I'll keep the white on the top side if I'm going to start with that side. So I'm going to do all those 9 cubes to start. So let's keep white on the top. We have one in the correct spot. If it wasn't, say it was over here, as long as you have one on the top, you can just rotate the top layer to get it in the right spot. So that one matches. But assume there were none. So if there were none in the right spot, if you have it on the side here, where it can be done with one turn, just turn it to the right or left. If it was over here, turn it like that. Alright, so then now we have one over here. So this one actually can be the same to get it up there, but now you see it doesn't match that one. So to solve that, without messing this one up, we're going to put it on the bottom first. So if you put the white on the bottom, it's a little bit easier to work with. That way you don't mess up this top layer. So if I put the white on the bottom, then we're still good with the orange. Now it's on the bottom here. So you get it directly underneath where you want it to be, keeping the white on top. You turn that. So now the blue and white are directly underneath where we want it to be. And then just do a 180. And you flip that side, so now the blue and white match. So that those 2 cubes are correct. Alright, we have one more on the bottom here, green. Alright, so this is not directly over where we want it to be, because that's red. This one is. So we'll put it directly underneath where we want it to be. Do the 180. Alright, now we have 3 of them correct. Now there's none on the bottom now, so we can't do that anymore. So we have this. This is the cube we need to be up here. So we'll have to do one turn first. Either way, it doesn't matter. So now it's on the side. And now if we want to get the red back on the bottom, so we can do that trick we just did, we can turn it like this. However, that messes up this cube. So you have to keep in mind not to mess these up. So bring it to the bottom, then rotate it off to the side to get it out of the way, and then rotate back one turn to fix the blue. Then you have that one exactly where you need it to be. Do the twice, the 180, and then now you have the cross. So we have the X, which is done perfectly there. Alright, and then this part is actually fairly simple. The corners, we already got one in the spot. There's going to be 3 options. It's either going to be, if you hold the cube like this, so you have the piece you want is going to be up in the top right. The white will either be in the front, the bottom, or the right side. There's only 3 options. So let's start with one on the right side. You put the cube directly where you want it to be underneath. This is red, green, and white. Not this one. This is orange, green, and white. So let's rotate this cube part until it matches. Red, green, white. Okay, we're good there. Alright, so if it's up in the front, we're going to go down, right, down, right. Notice the clockwise and counterclockwise, but it's pretty obvious, not to even memorize, but just to look at how the piece is going to go. Now we have another one here. Oh. We have another one here. Nope, camera's following. All right. So let's try one in the front. Or, let's see. Is that what we just did? I think that's what we just did. And I'll do one more. All right, so this one, blue, red, white. So let's move it here. Where's it going to go? Right there. Nope. Right there. All right, so down, right, down, right. You got that one. Okay, now here's one that's a little bit different. We got the bottom. So the bottom one actually takes the most steps. Whenever it's like that, it's going to go directly over here. So to the top. So in this case, it's going to take several turns. So I usually will go right, move the down one twice to get out of the way, back up, right, down, right, just like that a couple times, and it gets in the right spot. And there you have your top layer nicely done. And that should not take much more than, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute if you're decent. If you're super fast, you can probably do it in like a second. So I am not super fast, so about 30 seconds for me. I'll post another video on the second layer then in a little bit.